Key witness, mysteriously missing. Ahead of testimony, a critical witness in the highly publicized federal trial against music mogul Sean P. Diddy Combs has reportedly gone missing, creating a significant disruption mere days before opening statements are scheduled to begin. The case, which revolves around serious charges, including trafficking and racketeering, has already attracted widespread media attention. The sudden disappearance of this key witness adds a new layer of uncertainty, threatening to derail parts of the prosecution's carefully built case. This development has sent shockwaves through the legal community and left federal prosecutors scrambling to determine how to proceed. The identity of the missing woman is being kept confidential under the label Victim 3, and her expected testimony was seen as one of the most crucial elements tying Combs directly to some of the most serious allegations in the indictment. Federal prosecutors scrambling to respond. As the trial nears, the prosecution has been forced to regroup in light of the witness's unexpected absence. According to Assistant U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey, attempts to reach Victim 3 and her legal counsel have so far been unsuccessful. The witness, who was reportedly prepared to testify about traumatic and intimate details concerning her alleged abuse, may now refuse to appear in court even if contact is reestablished. During a hearing, Comey informed U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian of the situation and acknowledged the complications this presents. The prosecution noted that the missing witness had initially agreed to testify without using a pseudonym, which had previously signaled her confidence in coming forward. Her sudden silence, therefore, represents a dramatic shift that has caught the legal team off guard. Without her, prosecutors must reevaluate their trial strategy while maintaining confidence in the broader body of evidence they intend to present. Witness at the center of the case. Despite the large volume of physical and testimonial evidence already collected, the absence of Victim 3 could weaken the prosecution's ability to establish a clear narrative around some of the most severe accusations. The missing witness is believed to have provided key insights that connect Combs to the operations described in the indictment. Her testimony was expected to provide firsthand accounts of the coercion and abuse that underpin the charges against him. She reportedly does not reside in New York, where the trial is being held, complicating logistics and security considerations. Her location and well-being remain unknown, which has prompted concern and speculation from both legal observers and the public. Defense attorney Tony Garagos stated that the witness has had a long-term association with Combs, suggesting her testimony could potentially hold more weight than that of others. The defense has since requested a clear statement from prosecutors on whether they still plan to call her to the stand. New charges and indictments intensify pressure. In late April, federal prosecutors issued a third superseding indictment, expanding the list of charges against Combs. Among the new allegations was an additional charge of trafficking and transportation for P purposes, specifically linked to the missing witness. These new counts further complicate the defense's strategy and raise the stakes considerably. Combs now faces a total of 5 serious criminal charges: racketeering trafficking transportation to engage in PS trafficking, additional count tied to Victim 3, criminal conspiracy involving coercion. The charges span alleged misconduct involving 4 different women. Prosecutors claim the victims were manipulated and coerced into participating in so-called freak-offs, drug-fueled, non-consensual group encounters that took place under Combs's direction. The events reportedly involved both physical abuse and exploitation, carried out in a highly controlled and threatening environment. Defense pushes back on prosecution's claims. Combs has entered a plea of not guilty to all charges. His legal team maintains that the accusations are false and that any relationships or encounters described in the indictment were consensual. They argue that the women involved are former romantic partners and are now misrepresenting past consensual experiences for personal or financial gain. The defense has also criticized the prosecution's reliance on Victim 3, especially considering the volume of digital, physical, and testimonial evidence gathered during the investigation. In light of her disappearance, they are demanding that prosecutors confirm whether or not they still intend to call her as a witness, warning that continued ambiguity could hinder the defense's ability to prepare effectively. This request follows an earlier memo from prosecutors stating that Victim 3 had no interest in testifying anonymously, which now appears to be at odds with her current unavailability and silence. Other witnesses still set to testify. Despite the setback involving victim 3, the prosecution is moving forward with testimony from other alleged victims. Victim 1, identified publicly as Casey Ventura, has agreed to testify using her real name. She is expected to recount her experiences with Combs in graphic detail, offering evidence that the prosecution hopes will support the wider pattern of abuse outlined in the charges. Meanwhile, the court has approved the use of pseudonyms for victims 2 and 4 in order to protect their identities from public exposure and potential retaliation. Both women are also expected to deliver compelling testimonies that highlight coercion, emotional abuse, and exploitation. Prosecutors have emphasized that even without victim 3, the broader racketeering case remains intact. They insist that there are numerous corroborating accounts and a large cache of evidence sufficient to move forward with a strong prosecution. Rejected plea deal raises the stakes. In a bold move, Combs recently declined a plea deal that had been offered by the federal government. While the specific terms of the deal have not been publicly disclosed, it was likely presented as an opportunity to avoid the most severe sentencing outcomes in exchange for a guilty plea or cooperation. By rejecting the deal, Combs has chosen to face the full weight of the charges in court. If convicted on all counts, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. Legal analysts say this decision indicates confidence in his defense strategy, or possibly a refusal to accept any level of guilt in public view. Whatever the motivation, the trial now moves forward with extraordinarily high stakes for the once revered entertainment figure. As jury selection nears and prosecutors adjust their strategy in light of the missing witness, all eyes remain on the courtroom to see how this high-profile case unfolds.